What is up, friends? It is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is a little pre-drywall walkthrough on an update for the most part of our new build. It's a duplex. I'm here in Central Park, Denver. If you ever have any real estate questions, I'm your guy. Let's get into it. Let me flip the camera. Let's see what the good stuff is. All right, let's do this. So again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. New build construction is typically pretty easy, but you need to make sure you're working with a good builder. I'm working with David Weekly here in Central Park. They're well established, big national builder, easy to deal with. I've had a lot of clients who've had great experiences with them, as well as we have. You know, that really makes a difference. You want a builder that prides himself on quality. So let's get into it. So here is our duplex. We're on the left side, and we did the pre-drywall walkthrough, and I wanted to talk about some of the things that I look for as we get into the process, because once you put the drywall up, you are basically closing in the guts of the home. You're not gonna be able to see it. So they're finishing the siding, they're gonna do the roof, and then drywall. So you don't want water to get in there and start ruining things. As you can see, the site is gonna be a mess. If you expect a job site to be clean, don't show up. These days, that's not how they roll. They just do the work, they get it done. No one wants to see the sausage made. So as we're walking in, let's think about some of the things that you look for when you walk in. Instantaneously, outlets and switches. You know, as you walk through with your builder, you want to know and you want to double check to make sure outlets and switches are in the right places. Here's another thing. For example, we walked in this area to the left. I turned it to horizontal. Orientation is locked. Rotate, can't do it. So originally they put a door here, and it's supposed to be like a little foyer into a closet and powder room. These are things that you need to look at and pay attention to. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, Dan, I don't really want to do that much work. I don't want to pay attention that much. Again, you don't have to, but just think about a house, and as you're walking through, maybe this video really can give you some insight of some things. You notice here, again, outlets in the right places. Next thing that I pay attention to is I'll start looking at the ceilings. As you can see, you got can lights, right? These can lights, very similar to like the outlet should be in the right place. One of the things you want to make sure is they line up. Now, we said we look at this one. What do you notice? One's really close to the joist, one isn't. Talked to, builder identified that. That's something they're going to move. Seems very simple. And that's honestly, and again, so this is, I say, a four light one. They need to be in the right place. Now, when you look at it from a distance, is it pretty close in line? I mean, you could argue it is. It's one of those things where if you want to perfection, fix it, they'll fix it. No doubt, not a problem. As you're walking through here, you can see the block on the wall. This is where the TV is going to be. You want some extra support and 2x4s behind the wall. Seems obvious if you're going to hang things. Those are little things you have to think about. As you're walking through, again, make sure the outlets, make sure the switches, everything seems logical and in the right places. Next, you start looking at the subfloor. This has always been a friend / foe for me, is subfloor. What do you notice here? It's popping up there. Maybe you can see it at a better angle. What is the problem with that going to be? Imagine if you try to put floors on this, you have this buckling subfloor. It's not going to work. So what ultimately happens is then your hardwoods, your flooring's going to angle and pop up, and it's going to be a mess and have to be fixed later. So that's something we identified. So we walk back into the garage. These are things that you need to make sure I would think about as I'm walking through. Again, outlets in the right places. Check the roof. Make sure there's no glaringly obvious spots that might be an issue. Confirm as you walk in. Are you going to have a 220 outlet here? Are you going to have your irrigation system? Are you going to have switches in a garage? It's really nice to have switches or outlets. I know we only have what looks like 2 against the wall, but they are going to be adding 1 here, which is good. Little things, just be aware. Once this stuff is put up, it's much harder to add later. The builders might be a little more resistant or hesitant, but it's their job. But if you see this stuff and you're thinking about it now, it's great. water spigots, where the AC is going to be. Just double checking the plans. And then again, everyone's human, so if you expect the builder not to make mistakes, good luck. Let's step upstairs real quick and we'll go through the final little things that I think about. Again, notice the foaming in the walls, this little orange stuff. It's meant to keep everything nice and tight and insulated. Pass code, hear it in the corners. Again, you want the house to be airtight. So you walk up the steps into these to the bedrooms and the bathrooms. Again, just make sure everything looks right. Pay attention, look around, check at the doors, see, like left swing. Make sure they put the door, I mean, again, when they put up the molding, you want to know that the door is going to open left. And if you have that noted, perfect. Last thing that I like to pay attention to, and I probably will do it when we go back downstairs, make sure you videotape the inside of your house. And people are like, what, why, Dan? Well, you see how there's piping here? This is going to be behind the drywall in a bedroom. Here's some ductwork. What happens if your tenants start hanging pictures and you're not there, not even necessarily there, but as you walk through to introduce them to the house, you say, hey, this is a certain areas where you please do not hang pictures. Please do not drive nails or screws into the wall. Why? Well, again, imagine if they're driving screws and nails into the wall, into the piping, HVAC system, you're gonna have problems later. So those are the last things that I would think about. Now, when I look up again, make sure the can lights, here's an example of can light being off. This is the shower right below. And as you look up, you can tell that light is way cockeyed to the right. It should be in the middle of the bathroom. And again, just if you have any questions, feel free to call me. I'd love to represent you as a sub-agent in your state. You can get 2 agents for 1, and I can help you through the process. Be aware, in general, you have the ability to have an extra agent like myself if needed, because I can refer you out. It's no different than what Zillow, Redfin, and all of these other companies do. It's just they give that lead to somebody and they take 30%. Well, if you're actually in investment property, again, here's some like ductwork. This is the living room right here. Notice that wall. If someone puts a nail through that, not gonna be happy. If you need help, I will find you an agent that you can trust and use, and also will be held accountable by myself. So if you like the idea of 2 for 1, I preferably did when I didn't have my license. I always like to refer out to a friend, especially no matter where I lived. You know, I have friends in North Carolina that I would say, hey, would you use in, say, XYZ state? They'd recommend somebody, and you know you're kind of what you're getting. Now, again, a lot of people have agents. I understand that, but keep in mind, not a ton of them deal with investment properties that have the mindset for this. They're just trying to get a house built and move on, whereas I would, have checklists. I have documentation of things that you can use along the way to help you get from build to rent. So I hope this helps. I look forward to talking to you guys later. Hit me up if you have any market questions as well. Talk to you later.